Buckle up because we are diving straight into the action with the latest headlines you need to know right now. First up on the gridiron of girls lacrosse, Rochester John Marshall absolutely dominated their season opener at Hastings. Led by an incredible 5-goal performance from Emma Raleigh and a rock-solid showing in the crease from goalie Julia Curran, the Rockets secured a thrilling 12-7 victory that sets the tone for their season.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to prop it up? Meet the PopSockets phone grip with expanding kickstand in black, your new must-have accessory. Don't miss out. Grab yours today. Click the link in the video description to shop now on Amazon.
Turning our attention to the diamond, the baseball scoreboard is heating up with a nail-biter between Red Wing and Northfield. It was a high-stakes showdown that went right down to the wire, but it was Owen Runquist who stepped up big for Red Wing, driving in 2 crucial runs to help propel his squad to a narrow 6-5 victory over a tough Northfield lineup. The atmosphere turned serious across the St. Louis region as residents faced a wave of severe weather throughout the night. The 5 on your side, weather impact team and chief meteorologist Scott Connell, kept the community informed while tornado warnings were issued for St. Louis City and County, along with Franklin, Gasconade, and Crawford counties. Although the warnings have now expired, the threat of strong winds and potential flash flooding remains a top priority for those monitoring the overnight storms. Finally, we cannot stop talking about the absolute tier Elly De La Cruz is on for the Reds right now. He stepped up to the plate and blasted a massive 442-foot solo home run against the Giants, marking his 3rd long ball in just 5 games and proving exactly why he is one of the most dynamic shortstops in the league today. Stay ahead of the game by hitting that like button, subscribing to our channel, and turning on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Ever wonder how to set the tone for an entire season in just 30 minutes of play? That is exactly what Rochester John Marshall did this Wednesday in their season opener against Hastings. The Rockets stormed into Todd Field and absolutely dominated the first half, putting 7 goals on the board while holding the Raiders to just 2. It was a masterclass in early game intensity that proved to be the ultimate difference maker. While Hastings managed to match the Rockets' goal-for-goal in the second half, that initial deficit was just too deep a hole to climb out of, leaving the final score at 12-7 for John Marshall. Now, we have to talk about Emma Raleigh, who was an absolute force of nature today, racking up 5 goals, 9 ground balls, and 3 takeaways. That is the kind of stat sheet that makes coaches sleep soundly at night. And let's not overlook the defensive effort from Annalise Kavanaugh, who added 3 goals of her own, and the dual-threat performance in the crease from Julia Curran and Jasmine Ngave, who combined for 11 critical saves. It is clear that the Rockets are hitting the ground running, but with a quick turnaround to face Rochester Century this Thursday, they don't have much time to celebrate. Are they the team to beat this year, or was this just a lucky first outing? Hit that subscribe button and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Momentum is a dangerous thing in sports, and right now, John Marshall is riding a wave they clearly intend to keep climbing. Ever felt like a game could swing on a single play? That is exactly the kind of intensity we saw on the diamond this past Wednesday, April 15th, in a thrilling matchup between Red Wing and Northfield. When the dust finally settled, Red Wing walked away with a nail-biting 6-5 victory, but the box score tells an even wilder story. Red Wing wasted no time, putting up 2 runs right out of the gate in the first inning and mirroring that effort in the third. Owen Runquist was the spark plug for the offense, going 1 for 2 with a clutch double and driving in 2 runs, while Cade Shellstad added some serious pressure on the base paths, crossing the plate twice. It is worth noting how pivotal those 2 runs in the top of the third were for Red Wing, especially when you consider Northfield's persistent push. On the mound, Håkan Ellingson weathered some early traffic through 4 innings, handing the baton to Zach Royalty, who stepped up to strike out 4 over 3 innings of work. For Northfield, it was a game of what if. Despite a balanced offensive attack where Mason Muench, Michael Stewart, and Wade Gilbertson all managed multi-hit games, they just couldn't quite close the gap. It is a tough pill to swallow for Northfield, especially with those 3 defensive errors looming over the final tally. In baseball, one mistake is often all it takes to shift the momentum, and Red Wing capitalized on every opportunity given to them. If you enjoyed this breakdown, Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you never miss an update on the local Diamond action. At the end of the day, it is not just about the hits or the runs. It is about how you execute when the pressure is at its peak. When the sky turns that eerie shade of green and the sirens start wailing, you know it's time to take cover. And that is exactly what residents across the St. Louis region faced this past Wednesday night. A series of fast-moving, intense storms swept through, triggering a flurry of tornado warnings that kept everyone on high alert. Our 5 on your side weather impact team didn't hold back, issuing an urgent alert as the threat of quick, spin-up tornadoes combined with large hail and damaging winds became all too real. By 9:15 p.m., the National Weather Service had Franklin, Gasconade, and Crawford counties in the crosshairs, though fortunately, those warnings were short-lived. Not long after, St. Louis City and St. Louis County were under the gun until things finally quieted down around 10:30 p.m. Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell has been tracking this system closely, reminding us that even after the tornado threat passes, we aren't entirely out of the woods. He noted that if we see thunderstorms stalling out over the same areas overnight, we could quickly shift from a wind threat to a dangerous flash flood scenario. It's a classic case of the calm before the storm. We had some rain early in the day, which cleared out, allowed the atmosphere to recharge, and unfortunately, set the stage for these rapid-fire storms. The Storm Prediction Center had actually bumped us up to a slight risk for severe weather earlier in the day, proving just how unpredictable this pattern can be. And here is the kicker: the roller coaster isn't over. We are already tracking an enhanced risk for severe weather heading our way this Friday. Make sure you have the 5 on your side app downloaded so you can get these alerts the second they break. Nature is a powerful force, but with the right information, you can stay one step ahead of the chaos. Stay safe, keep your alerts on, and we will get through the rest of this week together. Stop what you are doing and take notice, because Elly De La Cruz is officially putting the league on absolute blast. If you thought his start was just a flash in the pan, Wednesday's performance against the Giants should have you hitting the refresh button on your expectations. The Red superstar went 1 for 4 with a solo shot, a walk, and 2 runs scored, fueling an emphatic 8-3 victory. Let's talk about that long ball in the 4th inning. He sent a Tyler Mahle pitch a massive 442 feet into the stands, a pure display of raw power that reminds us exactly why he is one of the most exciting young talents in baseball today. That is his 6th homer of the year, but look closer at the trend. He has smashed 3 dingers in his last 5 games alone. During that same stretch, he is batting an absurd 8 for 19 with 5 RBIs. It is safe to say the initial growing pains are officially in the rearview mirror. De La Cruz is finally settling into his rhythm, and when he is locked in like this, he is not just a shortstop. He is a force of nature that dictates the pace of the entire game. We are witnessing the maturation of a superstar in real time. Do you think he can keep this scorching pace up all summer? Drop a comment below and let me know your take. One thing is for sure, you do not want to miss a single pitch when Elly is at the dish.